Hi everybody, TFT Mango TFT, whatever I have it as, I don't even know. I'm going to do another meta video. There's a new patch. There's been crazy amount of patches this set, a lot of stuff going on. I'll just get right into it. I also want to talk about my stage 1 holds because I think I know enough of this patch and we're far enough into the set that I can speak to it. This changes every patch, but I do like talking about it. So essentially, I think the two best openers in the game are Gnar with attack speed items, so Ginsu's Gnar, S tier, and Syndra with particularly Rising Chaos or even just good items, AP items, broken, S tier. Both of these lines play well into meta comps, Gnar being like an Ashe or Jug Flex, Syndra being, Star Guardians or even like a YUUMI Prodigy. So I think these are just absolutely piss broken. A tier, I have the follow-up Prodigy Star Guardian package. It just makes sense to go with Syndra. And then secondary, I actually have the crew units. I think their crew is performing extremely well this patch. It's maybe a little less strong at double up, or in some instances even stronger because you get the TF earlier. So I really can't say exactly how much stronger it is. I've been playing a lot of solos, just prepping for 4v4 and stuff. So I think crew is really strong right now. B tier, I have just like the standard Jug package. Like, it's still acceptable frontline. You don't really have the best lines to play out of it. I think Aatrox is playing the mech decently, like the RYZE board I'm about to show. And then C and D tier, I just think these openers just don't play into good enough lines right now. Like, Callista's fine as an executioner item holder to play into Senna. Soul Fighter's like pretty mid. They bug fixed Samira's Omnivamp on her ability, so they gutted her damage as a trade-off. They way over nerfed her. Obviously, any of these comps, if you're playing around, if you get to Gwen 2, for example, it's still really good. They nerfed Karma, so that's why like Ken and Lucian is kind of lower priority. Again, you have crazy econ and get to Karma 2 or Karma 2 Gwen 2, like it's still good, but it's not the best. And then lastly, I kind of have the Wraith holds. Zack's hero augment is absolutely piss busted, so like there's an argument to like move him up or hold him, but I don't really like playing around Kale. That's really about it. Talk about two other things real quick. These are two new comps that are yet to be optimized. I'm not going to talk about the full comps today because I want to keep it like what I think the 5 meta comps are. But Caretaker Kog'Maw, particularly with Artifact, seems really good. Caretakers is the fruit that you get a shield. You give a shield to your lowest health unit, I believe, every time you cast. Kog'Maw ramps up and casts really quick, so you play like double Shojin or Shojin Archangels plus an artifact like Dawn Core or Mana Zane. I think that's pretty good with Protectors because Protectors obviously get durability when they're shielded. Another one is Xayah reroll. We've seen this before with Shen is like an Edgelord base, but they actually buffed the Xayah and Rakan like hero fruit, I call them, where it's called fan service. They get stats based on each other's star level. Still to be determined. I think with certain artifacts like a Flicker Blades, this probably pops off, but yeah, not sure how reliable it is. Okay, we'll jump into the comps. First and foremost, it's going to be BA Prodigy. I think on my initial set release video, people weren't optimizing this for 5 Prodigy. I think that one also big optimization that came out pretty early into the set was rolling Cassante in this package because he fits with the Rakan Protector. And Cassante is just such a good item holder and tank on even just 2 Protector. Like, you don't really need his traits. He's probably the most trait agnostic tank that we have. And then Leon is obviously your main tank. If you hit a Cassante 2 in your roll down, just tank Cassante 2. Like, there's no reason not to. Primarily, you just fast 8, try to play around Leon, YUUMI, Cassante, hold like utility items on Mal's, and then go 9 to try to find Seraphine and fit in 5 Prodigy. I think this comp is really strong, but it can be out capped by certain like fast 9 boards. I think you kind of just want items up to a certain point. You definitely want Archangels, YUUMI, and JG. Gunblade is obviously really good as well, but these are just sample items. But I think this is one comp that does kind of rely on this item build a lot. I've played it a fair bit, and that's just kind of my opinion, though. Anything else to talk about? Artifacts are very good on this comp. Mana Zane, YUUMI, Blighting Jewel, Malzahar. That's really about it. If you get something like Belt Overflow, you're just in business because now you just have so much frontline. This is a stall comp. Eventually, YUUMI stacks up and she just blasts people a new one. Bis Fruit, YUUMI would be, ideally, what's it called? Super Genius or Bullet Hell. Those are the 2 best fruits. for Leona, and really a lot of the tank ones. I think Resistance good in certain matchups. Tankzilla is good as well. Alright, moving on to the second comp. Now, I hate the way this one's actually listed on TFT Academy, so I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to drop this Yasuo 3, and I'm going to drop the Senna 3. I think people are kind of getting baited by this. Senna does hold your AD items, and she's really good at that, but I don't think rerolling on 7 for Yasuo and Senna 3 is super reliable. I think playing this as a fast 8 around RYZE 2, Jarvan 2 is super good. Quick reminder, oops, goodbye Udyr. You don't need anti-heal in this comp because you're playing 4 Mentor. Udyr has anti-heal. Kaboku has great CC. Yasuo also has some CC. This is kind of also a stall comp in the sense that you're just playing such a big front line. Eventually your RYZE just kind of kills everybody, and Senna as well. If you do go past 8, you can hold extra copies of Senna, especially if you're uncontested. You could cap around Senna 3, especially in double up where you have mini Nikos being able to send in the gifts. I think that's pretty good. This comp likes a lot of items. This comp likes a lot of tempo. Things like slamming, things like buried treasures are super good. And then as you level up, you just add just more executioners. So something like, where is that unit? Akali Lee Sin, or like your 2 next in, just to add more executioner. Thing I like about this comp, it does kind of have a flex slot. Like if you hit an early Zyra or something, like you just play an early Zyra and life goes on. It's great. Yeah, I think this comp's super good. It's probably has some left to be optimized. RYZE was meta at the beginning of the set, but he's kind of fallen off, so now he's back. Cool. Moving on. Number 3. This is a fast 9 comp. This is 9-5 Varus, which is essentially an APAC term for fast level 9 playing around 5 costs, hence the 9-5. It's really a duo carry between Varus as your main carry and then secondary TF or Zyra. TF is standalone if you have good items, just better in my opinion. But Zyra can also hold just AP items, or you play around whatever one you 2-star. Like Ginsu is also good on Zyra because her plant scales off the attack speed. K'Sante 2 is your main tank. It can sometimes be hard to find K'Sante 2 because he's on so many boards. So that's where it kind of struggles. I don't really love playing this unless I have like an early econ opener. Like something like Level Up or like Shimmer Scale Essence where I can just farm gold off like a Gnar Mundo combo and then just try to fast 9. If you hit this board, you easily beat all of the meta comps, I think. And this is the kind of comp you can fruit Varus, fruit K'Sante, and then eventually double fruit backline, and you just blow everybody up. It's pretty sweet. TF also just drops you mad loot, which is nice to just progress your game. If you get to like Flicker Blade TF, like that's good. You can play for that out, but you can also just play standard around Varus. And yeah, Varus 2 does some crazy things. I will say the big difference though, this comp, the difference between Varus 1 and Varus 2 is massive, so I highly recommend you only play it at a high econ spots or like when you're win streaking early. Alright, cool. Moving on. This was the terrorist of last set, Jug Udyr, excuse me, Colossal Udyr. It's not Jug. And I actually want to talk about this one a fair bit because I think it's very misunderstood. I watch a lot of my friends' games in Discord and things like that, and there's some misunderstandings about this comp. I might not be perfectly accurate on all of this, but let me just say, essentially, this itemization on Udyr, first and foremost, is extremely important. The reason being, solo frontline with Colossal, so obviously Gargoyle is insane. Titans is interesting. It got changed this set, where once it's fully stacked, you get CC immunity. When you have CC immunity with 6 duelists, the way Udyr is so tanky, first off, he gets tank stats from Colossal, but you're not playing 6 Jug. You're actually playing Udyr almost like he's a hero augment, where you want him to be CC immune and you want him to cast a lot. So 6 duelist is like a super statted build-in Ginsu's, and his ability, he actually heals off his autos. He heals off of AP ratio, so that's another reason Titans is good. He just becomes this immovable frontline object. You can drop one of these items if you really need to play something else, but I would say like these items are best for a reason, and it took a lot of experimentation from high-level players to figure out exactly what combo would be good, and it's such an odd combo of items for a reason. Like, this isn't just, like, these don't just work on any tank. Like, I wonder why. It's because of the uptime of 6 duelists giving Udyr more alt procs, which gives him more healing, and he can't be CC'd. It's a really crazy and interesting setup. I think it spawned off of essentially the hero augments, where you started building Ginsus plus Titans, so they would have essentially full uptime to be autoing and getting their ability off more. Ashe, well, another misconception as well is like Ashe really just needs Ginsus, Kraken. In fact, I would personally prioritize Udyr items over the Ashe items. You know, you really do need triple bow in this comp, which makes it difficult, so it's really good off of like Slammin or Replication. Also, Ashe is absolutely piss busted with certain artifacts like Fish Bones and Flicker Blades and Radiance. Radiance just buff comps like this a lot because it's single frontline and primarily single backline. You cap really hard around Lee Sin 2. Lee Sin 2 with 6 duelists is actually Thanos. So if you get to that, you can actually go crazy. I wouldn't sit and reroll for Udyr 3. Udyr 2 is stable enough, and then you can try to hit this Lee Sin 2. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to talk about one I actually did talk about in the beginning of the set, Star Guardian, but Star Guardian has evolved in how you play it. Last patch, you would actually play Ryze and Chaos Syndra the entire game, and you would just play it as a tempo comp into all these high-cost units, and you would just let Syndra 2 with the Ryze and Chaos go crazy. Now, with the Jinx buffs, and this trait, Star Guardian, and many of the units you got like 5-way buffs, so it's really good. It's also really stable. Poppy is like kind of just this insane tank with 8 Star Guardians just because of all the buffs she gets. Like, you heal a percent when you're at 40% health. You get this big shield. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot going on. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot working in Poppy's favor. Seraphine actually got buffed as well, like last patch and now. She's actually a real unit, so late game you can transfer like your Syndra items over to Seraphine. Ahri's like meh. Xayah can hold your AD items early. I think it makes sense. It's pretty easy comp. I think one optimization that might not have been included initially was Kaboku as your +1, just to get 2 heavyweight and then 6% durability from the Kaboku mentor bonus. I think you can play this comp really easily with a +1, but even without a +1, if you just play tempo off of Syndra, you can also play artifacts like Luden's Ahri, for example. Just a lot of ways to play. You can just play early game off of like Shojin and like a Nasher Slam with Ryze and Chaos, and then just hit your whole board that way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say you just have to be flexible in the mid game around what units you hold and play. So like, for instance, Swain and Cassante are really good units on this board in the mid game because you get Bastion Sork with Rel, Ahri, Swain, and then with the Cassante, obviously you just get Protector and like extra frontline. This is also kind of a stall comp where like you just have all these shields, you have all this healing, all this bullshit that lets you just stall out and eventually kill everything. Jinx is actually now built with essentially on hit. Part of it is also because of Star Guardian Xayah bonus gives on hit magic damage eventually, so you really do kind of want Shred. And then Jinx, really good fruit on her is that one that shreds armor and MR, just so then you can build true like tank Poppy and then just carry that the whole game. It's sort of like a one-for-all type of comp. Like, obviously Jinx pops off, Seraphine pops off late, but like, and Poppy pops off, but like, it's just the raw stats of the trait kind of carry it. So quality over quantity is really good in this as well. Anytime a trait is just carrying most of the weight, this usually pops off. You would just build it with utility focused items because those are just the best Radiant items. Radiant items in general are just broken this set because of power-ups. Power-ups is effectively giving even extra power to 3-item units, so then a Radiant's giving even more power, and power just multiplies power, right? Like if you double your AD and then double your attack speed, you're quadrupling your power. So yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think below. If you guys want me to change the style of these videos or tweak this in any way. I really stay away from gameplay just because I'm trying to do guides to help people out, but if you guys want to start seeing gameplay or even double up streams, happy to start doing that, but I'm just trying to keep it simple for now and get a cohesive audience. So thanks guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I love chatting TFT and I'm happy to help. Peace.